Now I would like to ask one question to Janvi. Janvi, I also see there's a lot of rise of kind of code anywhere, code do anything kind of platforms. More from Google, more from Microsoft, more from Amazon, more from a lot of these players are Adobe. All of these players are coming up and sharing this more as a subscribe to a platform and build your applications. So in this kind of world, which is tomorrow, like everyone will be able to start build applications. How do you see the security would be looked at?
So what happens is in this scenario, I think Shailendra also can add or maybe correct me. Is it now becomes responsibility of, I mean, it's not just the Google and Amazons that are offering this. I've come across, many others are now starting to offer this as a platform itself. So it becomes the responsibility of this platform provider, because once the code is built, it is getting constantly evolving in their environment. So it is still the platform provider's responsibility to manage everything related to security for that product. Okay. And on the other side, the enterprise or the organization that's using this platform to develop it cannot wash their hands of saying, I'm using a platform and it is their responsibility, so I'm not going to be held accountable. Ultimately, your user is coming to you and not to the platform builder, service provider, to get their product or end outcome, right? So you will still need to work with that platform provider and ensure that, if you're developing a financial product, for example, and the data that is getting stored is PII sensitive, cardholder information sensitive, then is there a need for that organization to have various certifications or standards? Is that going to impact your business? Because then you will end up saying that, the platform where I've gotten it developed, they are compliant, hence I am also compliant. And invariably, these could apply to you also, because although data or product is residing elsewhere, your tech team is still, or your IT team is still accessing that same information, because you will obviously constantly keep seeing what is happening. So it does not rule out the responsibility on you. In fact, it is even more difficult because now it is outside your control. They can say a couple of things, and you may not, because you're a small organization, they could be a larger organization, you may not be able to exactly also get what you want in terms of security.
Yeah. So I would like to add something to that. This is a common misconception I have seen, and I'll come to your point of no code development. This is what do we say, the next level of threat that is coming up, applicable, from a security point of view. I'll explain why. But before we get to that, this is a common misconception I have seen, that a startup is building something. It is using one of the most common hosting providers. Either it is AWS, or it is Google Cloud Platform, or Azure. By far, these are the three leading ones, right? And there is an implied assumption that there is security implemented by them. They are certified. So whatever I build on top of that, that is secure. It is by far the worst thing that I have seen, because the surprising part is this, that see, first of all, if you look at their shared responsibility matrix, which is they are giving you the infrastructure, they're giving you the platform, you are building something on top of that. The shared responsibility matrix clearly says that they are responsible for the security of the infrastructure. They are not responsible for security of your platform or application that you built on top of that. So I find this misconception troublesome, because looking from a common sense point of view, why would they be, or how would they even improve security for your application? It is entirely built by you.
I think they clearly state it in their contracts, etc., that
exactly.
We are limited responsible. You have to take care, because you are allowing direct access to your platform through us. We cannot at all ensure. In fact, how you set it up is up to you,
right.
And it's very clearly written. So I think maybe the misconception is because it's not read through, it's fine print, may not have been understood.
So reading the contract actually becomes an important thing, right? And this misconception has to go away. If you are a startup, you are building in AWS or GCP or Azure, security of your application is your responsibility. Let that be known worldwide. I hope so, because this is becoming by far one of the biggest reason why actually new startups are insecure in their application because they think that AWS will take care of their security.
Exactly.
Not the case at all. Now, coming to the no code, this is the next thread that is coming. Having said that, it is a brilliant thing. When I first became exposed to the no code thing, and another term came up along with it, what is called a citizen developer, meaning you do not even need to be a developer
A
to
developer.
really build an application, right? And so many platforms are coming up. It is becoming the next aggressive competition among the major platform providers. That
Yep.
we build a system on top of which, using the tools that we provide, people are able to build it. Now, let's go back a little. There was a time when blogging meant that you had to actually create your website from scratch. Then came WordPress, and it changed the game, right? And now you have so many other. Wix is there, Squarespace is there. You do not even need to know details like how to manage things in WordPress, and any lay person can go and do it. Brilliant thing. Same thing is happening with no code. The problem that comes up is this. See, just because you are building on top of an existing platform, the security of your application is still your responsibility. The platform can only do so much. And because you're not from that background, you're more likely to not be aware of best practices. So if you are a citizen developer, you are building a code using a no code platform, please take the time to figure out what are the best practices for security. Just as you do for best practices for your best, like the algorithm itself that you build, right? So this is the one single line advice that I would like to give. But it is a brilliant thing in my opinion, citizen developers.
Wonderful.